Hello, Bill Molyneux here with Goober the Traveling Bear for another Bill's History World video, and we are at Fort Necessity and the building of Fort Necessity, and Goober and I are just doing a quick video. We've been here a few times and made some other videos, but when you're driving by, you have to stop, and we're gonna go check out the fort. Fort Necessity is a French Indian War fort. George Washington was in command. Now, as you look at it, I hope you'll notice it's really not much of a fort. Okay, we've gotten closer. It's a very small fort, has some entrenchments, and it also had a couple swivel guns. George Washington had a surrender here, July 4th. And again, I have several videos on this historic site. Also, VA Travels, Chris of VA Travels has a good video of this fort. They ask you to stay off the earthworks. And don't forget, I have the board game, French Indian War Volume 1. It used to be Bloody Mohawk. And let's get some more video footage. All right, we're entering the fort. Okay, this is all it was. Basically, logs put around, and of course, the supply camp or cabin. And they say the soldiers broke into that, started drinking the rum. This battle consisted of George Washington's troops, some British line troops, and they were totally overwhelmed by the French and Native Americans. It also started to rain heavily, and we'll go look at the trenches. So when it rained, the trenches that the troops were in, the provincials and the British line infantry, they got sort of soaking wet in the trench. And our French and natives had the cover of the woods and would just pick off Washington's men. Now, Goober the Traveling Bear asked me about this artillery piece. Well, this is a swivel gun. George Washington, I think he had two here. And they call it a swivel gun because it can swivel. All right. So you can turn this left and right and elevate it up and down. And it's a small bore cannon. And it's a swivel gun. All right. Well, we'll go and get another view of the fort from the French point of view. And once again, Fort Necessity in western Pennsylvania. Well, as we walk back, we're going to get back to the car and get going again. We're going to go up here and check one of the signages. You can see the woods and cover that the natives would have had and the French. The tree line, and they have a sign here that shows the tree line that the French and natives were at. So they had cover. So July 3rd, 1754, mid-morning, about 700 French and Indians approached from the far end of the meadow toward fewer than 400 British soldiers in and around Fort Necessity. French Captain Louis Goulon d'Ilviers saw the British standing before their trenches in battle lines, typical European tactics. With a cry, the Indians and French advanced. Strategy quickly changed as the British withdrew into their fortifications, while the French and Indians dispersed into the woods to surround the fort. Most of the French Indians concentrated in the woods behind you. Were protected by trees with accurate firing range. They held the advantage. As rain fell throughout the day, the French exchanged musket fire with the British, most of whom were lying in water-filled trenches. Okay. Well, very cool. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to stay safe, be kind, be courteous. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, everyone.